Hi everybody, I am Joyce from my craft room. We are in beautiful Beverly Hills, Michigan. I am an online store. You can find us at mycraftroom.com, just like that. We also do a lot of shows, so we miss seeing you so far this year, but sure hope that's going to change soon. Anyway, we sell lots of different products. Altenew is a big favorite of ours. We have a huge selection of their stamps, their dyes, their paints, their die cutting machines, washi tapes. You'll find all kinds of Altenew products on our website. We also are thrilled to have a really nice selection of Pink Fresh Studios. They just keep coming out with cooler and cooler things every day, so that's a favorite. Sorry about that. That was the dog. We also sell Creative Expressions from the UK. Tootie Designs Dyes is a US company. You may or may not be familiar with them, but they have really great dyes at a really great price point, so check them out. And of course, we sell Catherine Pooler, Gina K, lots of ThermaWeb that you kind of see in front of me here. What am I forgetting? Probably a lot of stuff, but in any case, do take a good look around the website because this is just a fraction of what we offer. For this event, we have created a special coupon code. The code is EXPO20. That's EXPO20. So when you check out, you just pop that code in the little coupon box on the website, and you'll get 20% off your entire order with two exceptions. One is kits, like this that I'm going to show you in a minute, and the other is our heat laminator. The kits and the laminator are already so heavily discounted, I can't take another 20% off of them. This kit, for instance, that I'm going to show you today has a retail value of over $53 if you bought it individually, all these items. And we're selling it to you for $39, so that's already more than 25% off, so it's a great deal. But for everything else, use that code. Today we have a special stenciling kit to share with you. Stencils are really, really hot right now, and it's no wonder because people just keep coming out with more and more and more great designs. You know, they're very affordable compared to the price of stamps or dies. I mean, most of them cost about $7 more or less, so not a bad price point. And you know, they're so versatile. You can use them as the focal point on a card, the background, lots of ways to use stencils. So, and certainly you can use them with endless coloring medium that you like. So today we're going to show you some kind of new things and new ways to use your stencils. But first I'm just going to walk you through what's in the kit. We have, of course, a stencil. What's the point of having a stenciling kit with no stencil? Some of them will have this beautiful square mandala stencil from Gina K. And you also have your choice of this bursting dahlia stencil from Altenew. Also really beautiful and real versatile. This one has some extra little images on it too. There are some separate leaves and a little center to the flower. This one obviously is just one big mandala. We have included Pixie Spray. Now, stenciling is pretty easy as card making techniques go, but it's like anything else. You know, if you have the right tools, you get the best results. And Pixie Spray goes a long way toward that end. What it is a low-tack, removable adhesive. You spray it on the back side of your stencils, and it helps them stick right down to the paper. Speaking of which, I need a piece of paper. In the old days, right in the classroom, in the old days we used to just tape down a stencil, get it as tight down to the cardstock as possible, and hope for the best. And, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The more intricate these stencils become, the more important it is that these little lines stick down really well in the center. And this Pixie Spray does a really good job of making sure that happens. Because trouble occurs with stencils when it doesn't lay flat. And then your coloring medium or your gels, whatever, thank you very much, are gonna pop up and that color will seep underneath the stencil, and that is what you don't want to have happen. So, Pixie Spray, great tool to have when you're stenciling. Another thing we're including is the Stencil Pail. This is a spreader for any pastes or gels that you want to use. You put it in your hand with the curved edge in the palm of your hand. The straight edge is where you're going to put your paste, and you just spread it right across your stencil. And we'll talk more about this one in a minute. We've also included one of Gina K's Glitz glitter gels. They're just gorgeous. There is a ton of glitter in here, but it's settled into the gel so that once you put it down on your cardstock, the glitter is not coming off. And that's a sample of what it looks like right there. We also are including a jar of the metallics gels. Now these are a pearlescent metallic. We used it on this sample right here. It's, of course, very pretty on a dark background like this purple cardstock, but it's also nice on a lighter cardstock. You get kind of a tone-on-tone look. So this color is a big favorite of ours. Last but not least, Transfer Gel Duo. ThermoWeb came out with Transfer Gel a few years ago so that you could foil projects using a heat laminator. You could spread this gel through your stencil, let it dry, put the foil on top, feed it through your laminator. Not everybody has a heat laminator, so ThermoWeb came out with a new formula, which is this, and it's called Duo, and it's called Duo because you can still use it with your heat laminator, just like the original formula, but you can also use it with your die cutting machine. You spread it through your stencil, and we're going to demonstrate that one for you, but basically the pressure from your die cutter is going to force the foil to stick to the Duo. So that is all in the kit, plus instructions. So if you forget everything I say today, you can look at the instructions. And we'll get started. We're going to show you how to apply the gel. And I think what we'll do is we will use the Duo. Now, first thing you want to do is spray the back of your stencil. Take it outside or do it over your garbage can or into a splat box like I've got here. Otherwise you're going to be spraying adhesive all over the place, and that's not good. So just a little spray, give it a second or two to just get tacky. And then you're going to set it down on your cardstock. And I like to just pick it up and turn it over. And just give it a little burnish. Okay, so Transfer Gel Duo. Now you're going to need a smaller knife than the Stencil Pail to get the gel out of the jar. So we're just going to scrape that out. Again, the curved edge goes in your hand, and you're just going to spread your gel along the edge. Now what makes this a good tool is that it allows you to apply the gel in fewer passes. If I was going to use this palette knife, I'd be, spreading and spreading and spreading. With this, I can cover more area more quickly, and that means that I'm not saturating my cardstock so much. you don't want the cardstock to sit there in, you know, with wet paste on it for so long that it starts to warp or kind of bubble up on you, because again, what can happen is the gel's going to seep underneath the lines of the stencil, especially if you haven't used any Pixie Spray. So, you're going to just take the stencil pail, kind of splay your fingers across the back so you get nice even pressure, and just pull it. And I suggest you work under better lights than I am so that you can see whether you got the gel in the right spots. No harm in giving it another pass. And then you just take your original knife, scrape all the extra back into your jar. And then, of course, one thing that's very helpful is to have a bowl of water or something sitting around so that you can throw these sticky things into it, because you really don't want them to get hard. You don't want the paste to dry on the tools because it makes it harder to get it off. So I'm cheating. I'm just going to wipe it off with a baby wipe, which you can certainly do. And then we're just going to lift up the edge of the stencil. And we just, now all we have to do is let it dry. And I forgot one thing. I forgot to cover up the little leaves on here, which reminds me of another tip. If you need to mask off an area on your cardstock while you're stenciling, like I intended to do with these little leaves here, purple tape is great for that. But trust me on this one, because I've done this wrong too many times. Put your tape on the back of the stencil, because if you put the tape on the front and then you set that down on your cardstock, it can leave residue on the cardstock. And then when you go to foil this, you're going to get foil where you didn't want it, because there's sticky in the wrong places. So trust me, I learned that the hard way. Okay, so since this is going to take some time to dry, and it could vary from an hour to longer. It depends on your climate. It certainly depends on the humidity. I often will just do a bunch and let them sit overnight and then come back to them. But you certainly don't have to. You normally don't have to wait that long. All right, so this one I did last night. Make sure that's the dry one. I did this one last night, and I know you can't really see anything, but I wanted to show you how you can foil this with your die cutting machine. First thing you need is a little paper folder. This is parchment paper. ThermaWeb puts it in a lot of their foiling products, but you can use, you know, copy paper, computer paper, anything lightweight. I like to take a sheet of scrap cardstock and put it in there just for a little extra stability and a little extra shim. Then you're going to take your foil. Oh, that's what I forgot to tell you. There's foil in the kit. Oh, beautiful shattered rainbow foil. There's 5 sheets. They're 6 by 12. This is what they look like. Gorgeous. And the nice thing about this particular color is that they're not all the same. They kind of vary. So if you want more blues or more purples, you just kind of take a peek at the color, the different sheets in the tube. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down a little bit because I don't need to waste it all on this piece of cardstock. So you're going to lay with foil, you're going to lay it pretty side up, just like that. Close the folder. You're going to use whatever the normal sandwich is for die cutting in your machine. And you're just going to run it through. And if I can do that without sending this flying, that'd be a good thing. Now when you're done running it through your die cutter, peel it away, peel the foil away, but do it slowly, because if it starts to look like you didn't get good adhesion of the foil, you can just lay it right back down. If you've taken it all the way off, you can't put it right back down in the same spot. So you're just going to peel that away. And I got some sticky on there that I didn't want. So I'll share another tip with you. But there you go. And you didn't need a heat laminator or anything else to get it to stick. This is the Creative Detailer. You've probably heard of it. It's like an electronic eraser. And if you get foil where you don't want it, it comes right off. No problem. So it's a dandy little tool for all kinds of things, but this is sure one of them. Okay. Now, if you know anything about foiling and you have toner paper at home, you want to hang on to this. But that's another video. You can find that on our Facebook page at My Craft Room Online on Facebook. One other thing I wanted to show you that you can do with the Duo gel, even though we didn't put the flocking in the kit, ThermoWeb makes flock. And the way it works is, you know, it's fuzzy just like you would expect flocking to be. So you're going to take your piece that you've already put the gel on and let it dry. The flock you put face down. The foil was pretty side up, the flock is pretty side down. And you can run that through your Big Shot or Cuddle Bug or whatever you're using to die cut, just like you did the foil. And then you're just going to peel it away. And there you have it. Ouch. Flock Dahlia. So lots of things you can do with these products. There are probably 100 other things I forgot to tell you, but I hope you have fun watching all these videos this weekend. And go have a look at mycraftroom.com. Don't forget about the code EXPO20. So we'll let you get on to the next one, guys. Thanks for stopping by.